kingdom.
아니 이주씨가 사이트에서 3명
Very unsightly and unsavory.
오마이갓 이러면은 이제 제타 2코를 해야 되거든요. 2코 피스톨 전략이 있을까요?
You know you have to peek out. You're gonna have to try to find whatever you can get.
일단
Too many players on the other side.
아니 일단 뭐야 히어로바이 해줬는데 히어로바이?
Impressive anchoring from both controllers. Izu with a TP back into hell and then playing off around that. Rossi just toying around with Depp, just keeping his tension away from the rest of his team as much as possible. This T1 adapting right back into the game.
And again, Carpe is probably one of
뭐야
the,
벤달 두 자루네?
the players that came from a different league, had to transition into Valorant, and now he is looking.
벤달 두 자루면은 충분히 이제 굴려 먹어가지고
It has.
할 수 있거든. KO 공도 있고.
I like the idea of the fade, and it definitely works out on defense as well. You know, the C's can give you so much. But off of an eco now, Zeta still trying to get an idea for how T1, really defends.
They're trying to fish for a kill, but T1's just not giving them that satisfaction. I mean, if Zeta wants any form of contact, they have to go
이렇게 A
into the
쌈으로
domain here of
와버리면은
T1.
살짝
Speaking of which,
힘들거든요.
though,
빵상
right there,
맞았고.
thick, close
A에서
onto
빠르게
contact. Depp was able to
진입해줬는데
dash right in, but
어떻게
I don't know how much
뭐야
he
헤븐
can actually
찔렀어.
do. So he just leaves the site and starts to create some tempo here on Heaven. It's going
근데
to
이거
be
헤븐
very
간 거
risky,
브리핑
but he
됐을
has to
거예요.
do this by himself and leave his team to fend off on their own. And it does work out to
이것만으로도
some
진짜
extent.
충분히 잘한 게 이게
He is on
백업보는
an island right now,
인원의
Quack. Gets the first one, but
템포를
side
매우
player shuts him up very quickly.
늦춰놔가지고 아주 게이득.
Now with it up still
아주 게이득 이
moving over their
포지션.
heads, Zeta Division just trying to position themselves safely enough. Laz tucked away in A main. He's got to make use of that play just right up next to Sugar Zero, because if not, it's easy for T1 to find these 2-on-1s.
Turret is available for Laz here.
딴 거 보려다가 타이밍.
The reactionary position
It's buying time.
타임.
is Sugar Zero on switch, swings right out. Carby's very quick on that trade.
아
Laz
시간이
risking his life
없다.
to get that
오퍼도 못
contact.
살리겠는데요
Has to swing
이거는?
out. Carby's gonna be able to maybe have the spike here. No, he does not. That should be just be about that. And Laz perfectly cool, calm, and collected. Captain of Zeta Division secures one.
Very
그러니까
well played.
제타
I mean, it was kind of
잘하는데?
like a half-ish buy, and you had some players just off of pistols. But that little duo between Yudon and Sugar Zero, buying the attention away, Sugar Zero getting the tap at the Sheriff, really allows them to open up the site. I think Izu, had to spin so much back and forth that it allowed for the rest of the team to
풀것
make their way in.
가겠는데?
Not to mention, depth right up around window. It kind of throws things off for a little bit.
True. You're T1 in a guessing game, right? Is he
Yeah.
staying on the site to protect the site, or did he overpush so that he gives more information and more map control for Zeta Division? Went for the latter, so he reaps the benefits of that. Only good for the first kill, but yeah.
Holds off that operator. That's the thing. So
Oh yeah, true.
buys up now. T1 on the half buy.
T1's very adamant about that this mid control, because every time they don't get that mid control,
근데
Zeta's
뭔가
somehow
정보가
always
아무것도
knocking on
없는 것
A short or
같은데
somewhere.
미드 드론
Right?
날려고
Those are the rounds that
A
Zeta
메인 모르고
has
B 메인
gotten
모르고
pretty successful on.
됐죠?
Okay, Null Command. Carby's been spotted actually coming around the corner here. He could be in a bad spot.
Oh, Depp.
Boy, does he. Depp now holding the angle. Fragment activated so that Depp can cross a little bit more peacefully into the site. Excurate, very vocal player of T1, gets a bit of powwow, but only good for the one. But I mean, that's Depp, so step in the right direction here as T1 forced to go for this retake. Looking quickly into the minimap, one holding B main. Side player is on the alert. If he can get Laz, the pinch could be better here for T1.
Such an interesting
근데 아직 할만하다. 킬조이 잡고 3대3 사이트
player, of course, then
리테이크.
he would have the blade storm up as well, but you gotta watch out for that alarm bot. He knows it's there. Timing is crucial. Going along with the team now.
오
There it is.
3대3?
There it is indeed, and here comes the offense right now for T1. Do they still have enough time though, or can they only just
어딘?
let
오.
Zeta Division
오
hold the
근데
angle here?
나요?
Euron popping
Wow.
shots through the smoke.
와우.
Boy, is he blind, but he is not going to miss a beat with that Odin.
I really like that. I mean, first of all, he got it.
제타가 의도한 건 아니지만 오히려 약간 바이퍼의 커튼이 도움이 된
the
느낌?
decision making not to fully commit to the spray and like swing his mouse wildly back and forth. He actually gets off of it and then repositions, because if you do stay in that spray, your tracers are visible, your opponents can fire right back. So very well played by Zeta. And if I were to add, I mean, just another interesting note. Actually, last year for Masters Tokyo,
drop it for
T1 was that team that knocked Zeta down. T1 was the team that denied Zeta Masters Tokyo. So if Zeta can actually win
미도
this,
찍혔어요.
that would be huge.
So it
바로
is a
막아준
form of
다음에
retribution.
제스트가
Little
영역
bit.
못 먹기.
Alright, I like it. Storyline set up, revenge arc. I mean, not guaranteed, but we are seeing a possibility here. That being said,
For
though,
the revenge arc. True.
that being said, though, both of the initiators for T1 and Zeta have been very good at utilizing
뭐지?
these
그냥
Odins.
삐메인 가려는 건가?
Odin spam is great. Ooh, Saya player though.
아 뭐야 결국에는
he's going in
A네.
for more.
스파이크가
I
A에
mean,
있기
at
때문에
parties you don't want to double dip, but in Valorant
A를 가려고 하는
it's
것 같습니다.
perfectly normal, even rewarded at times.
Without a doubt, I mean,
Oh, that shock dart. Yikes! Oh, it actually finds Saya player. What a shock dart from Euron.
와,
Gets the one. That's
well
jet for jet.
placed. But apart from that, you know, after a little bit of pressure onto B, the rest of the
아
team
A도
already
이거 힘
rotated
뭉쳐가지고
closer
제가
towards
봤을 때
A.
둘둘 이렇게 올라오고 이렇게
Execute and
A샷 먼저
better be
해줘가지고
ready.
메인에 힘을
Last
붙이게
minute spotted already.
딱 해준 다음에
That is a magical,
오
magical
근데 이즈
camera there.
와우
Izu.
와우
Boys
와우
playing with the
아니 이걸
hearts here.
버텨 와우
Cannot get denied. It's all down to Euron. Chases it
와우
right in.
와우
Time
이즈
and everything. Very much
케빈
against them
소굿
and
아니 이걸
Finishes it
버텨
As he was the one who starts it as
아니
well.
근데 이거
I mean,
솔직히
that
이주님이
spy
개 잘했다.
cam was
이주
everything.
so
He
good.
saw so much, did
아니
not shoot out any
이건
tracers,
이주님이
called
저기
for the
숏에서
Hey, they were out
버텨가지고
here.
케빈
Izu,
킬을
be
먹을 수
prepared for
있던
this.
거거든.
Hunter Street goes
이주가
out.
이주님이
He was
개
just
잘했어
dancing,
이거는.
dude, and he doesn't get tagged by it whatsoever. In fact, he actually picks up those frags. And off of it now, of course, T1 picks up the win. It's back to that mind game of like, is Zeta Division gonna try to go for that like bits of mid control? B main has been a bit of an area for contention, right? Saya plays always somewhere around the corner. If not B main, maybe closer towards mid. You never quite know where he's gonna show
델타의
up.
타이머.
Depp has to watch out for that.
Not just that, but again, we've seen this in the first series with Paper X, where you do see the duelist having a lot of support from the
와 근데
initiator.
진짜
not
이주님
just
개 잘했다 방금.
utility
진짜
support,
공
but
맞으면서
firepower as
저기서
well. You
저렇게
see Carpe
버티기가 쉽지
do the same
않거든요.
thing with Saya player
아,
here,
어지럽거든,
where if Saya
저러고
misses a beat
있으면은.
or gets followed up on by Zeta Division if he gets the pick off and
여러분들도
down
이제
the open,
발로란트를 해본
Carpe's just
사람으로서
gonna
이제
let that
A쇼
Odin rip
또
and
스위치
assist his boy
앞에서
out, and it
공을
works fine
맞으면서
for
저렇게
T1 here.
싸우기가 쉽지 않은 거라고.
Exactly. That's another
역시
thing
동.
to keep in mind too. T1, they have this additional support, and Carpe as the IGL too, being able to support his teammates that way. Lots of support in the crowd for T1, to say the least.
I mean, we got an interview a while ago, right, where one of the fans just said that he's here not feeling any fatigue whatsoever, waiting for this specific match. I'm not sure if you picked up the fans, you know, on our microphones, but they do be faithful to T1. And T1 is not disappointing at all here, Quack.
아, 근데
None
뭔가
whatsoever.
T1은
At
A
least not for this
앞당에서
round. It
막는
looks, there's that half
느낌보다는
buy coming out from Zeta.
앞당 체크만 하고 무조건 빠져가지고
Definitely get
사이트에서
their
먹는
buy count.
느낌이네.
Saya off the Blaze, if anything. And with the way that they're positioned right now, not seeing anything
와인
towards
클리어까지
mid,
아주 깔쌈하게 해준
not really
다음에
giving out too much.
내려시. 이
just ready
올라왔거든요?
with that Odin.
이 올라온 거 몰라요?
Is all gonna
쎄,
really
이거
fall down onto
직하네.
him unless that Odin spam from or for Carpe gets so much more
하지만
value.
사야의 공이라면
Saya player
너무 많죠.
getting a little bit too heated on Heaven there, forced to dash away. But this heavy contact from Zeta Division pays off. They'll be able to pick up all the weapons, get them upgrades, and even use that Killjoy lockdown from the extra sauce. But can they break it though? Door is opened up already here.
아 깼는데 목숨과
Broken because of the
맞바꾼.
trade, but Sugar Zero does get
목숨과
that pick
맞바꿔
off.
버린.
2 versus 3. Extra getting close onto the site, gives away his position. Smoke gives him a little bit of cover, but also separates the rest of the team right now as Saya player whiffs the blades, gives the chance.
젠타가 이러시
Zeta
잘 왔다.
Division answer back.
My man. I mean, I got to see that replay on that execute from Zeta Division because they
아,
went in so
결국에
quickly. Depp right on top of
사이트를 와서
Generator.
설치.
Even though Carpe had an Odin, didn't quite
그냥
know
하는
how to
건
respond
맞는데.
so well. And with the way that they played around the smokes too, you can see in that replay, they were able to kind of fend off each section of the site.
Yeah.
Rossi though, man, what a team player, you know, sacking his own life just to deal with that lockdown. But the little bits of movement, dodging out the sprays, kept the rest of Zeta Division alive. So now 3-5. The buy's back on their side.
Also,
T1 just, yeah, not quite synchronized.
Sorry, I just wanted to add as well. It felt like the nano swarms that we saw Laz throw was in benefit for T1, but it actually works a little bit differently there, just to flush out, you know, certain corners and stuff. Plus, again, if it's your own teammate's nano swarm, you take somewhat reduced damage, so you can swim in it theoretically, you know. So you can use that as some form of aggressive push strat. Speaking of aggressive push strats, side player, he doesn't have a tailwind inside of the smoke. Is he gonna risk it? No, never mind. He just backs away.
아, 또 정보 몰라.
Yeah, Zeta, knowing
Aiming도
that there
모르고
has
Bmain도
been a lot of
몰라.
noise, a lot of presence that they made previously
그나마 알고
towards
있는
this
거.
mid area, T1
링크
definitely coming in to
있었어.
investigate, so not wanting
미드
to
첫 번째.
challenge them all too
하이미드
long, not at
킬조이?
least until, you know,
하이미드
really
킬조이?
like the turret, gives it up. Now they know, alright, there are some players out towards A short.
아니 레전드 하이미드
They are
킬조이
running
털에
out of time.
깔아놔가지고 그냥
Might just come
존드
down to this
레전드.
crazy execute, last ditch effort.
What?
Carpe has the nightfall too. Oh, this is not going to work out too
다
well.
찍혔다 다 찍혔다
Oh,
다
yeah.
찍혔다.
They could be
다섯 명다
swimming this with
찍혔다.
very much reduced HPs. Saya players already looking for the lurk right now. Carpe pushes up, immediately traded in. 14 seconds. If Sugar Zero can find something, which he absolutely does. There's a chance, there's a world where they can plant the spike in, but Saya player is wreaking too much havoc on that flank.
하지만
Thankfully
2대1.
enough, Euron answers in kind. And Rossi
털이
plays in the
킬조이였고
back of the site. Euron, he's absorbing the
사이트
snake
소바
bite,
있던 걸
position
알았기
himself for a
때문에
better peek. But it doesn't work out. It's a 1 versus 1. Captain Laz. Once again, 1 tap, 1 kill. No
아
luck,
이거
all
슈가
skill.
재료가
Oh, Captain, my
잘했어.
Captain.
사이트 정리를 아주
Wow.
That was
깔쌈하게
awesome. I mean,
해버리시는데?
you're on tanking that snake bite just to hold it off and make sure that Rossi.
아 근데
would
이거는
not be
아깝다.
able to
이거는
get
여러분들
that
솔직히
quickly. That was
말해서
something.
T1이
Six
A인
steal
거 알고
to do that.
있었거든요? 근데 진
But apart from
거라
that too, I mean,
이건 그냥
just
아쉬워요. 예.
with the way that the fight breaks out, you would have assumed that Carpe, everyone, the Nightfall, they should have gotten that fight, but then Zeta inside of the smoke, not to mention Sugar Zero picking up that multi-kill, really turns things around.
Where is this blade going? Clearing up the entirety of A main as well as wine, just in case somebody creeps up in there. Pop shot on short with the Marshall. Not sure if that was heard properly by Zeta. Regardless of which, it's going to be a mid push anyways.
Yeah, making use of that movement speed. Depp has cut through market
저는
pizza
잘
4, but now
모르겠어요.
he's up against
그러니까
Saya.
뭔가 나는 미드를
He's
주는
chasing him down.
메리트가
Maybe a little bit too much,
그러니까
but
바이퍼를
still works out
써서
for
그냥
Depp.
안에서 막자가
Lead
될 수도
takes,
있긴
great
한데
flash. Two players on the
뭔가
site.
아직까지 미드를
Going to be
줘가면서까지
Carpe somewhere
바이퍼의
hidden
이점을
on
찾아볼
B.
수가 없는
Huge hunt, maybe a couple of pop shots through the smoke. This wall from the Viper is giving some cushion right now.
그래서 계속
for
커튼도
aggressive
미드
T1.
안 해놓고
Zeta Division,
사이트
they
커튼
are
해놓잖아요.
calm and collected. They got 40 seconds. They can let them cook. They can wait for the utilities. And make something
결국에는
happen.
애들이
And
사이트로
on
와야
top of
되고
this,
사이트
Izu
싸움에
actually TPs in the back
바이퍼
of the site.
커튼이랑
Not
저
a hero,
하나가 진짜
but
세기
Ken's
때문에
added presence on B actually assists the rest of T1. That is the biggest question here. Accurate
와
has
제타
gone down
잘한다.
already. Izu's down to 12.
제타 야금야금 잘 긁어먹는데?
And it's not working out too well. There's Carpe through it all, and it's all down to Rossi. So some pretty big utility used by T1, and ultimately still giving up the B side in the end.
Look, this is Zeta's map. It's one of their home maps, just as Will pointed out during the map selection phase. They're very comfortable with this. They know how to work around this classic agent composition on this map. Izu, you know, might have been able to, you know, teleport over to assist the team, but with nothing but a sheriff, it's just tough. And you got it, like you mentioned, Esther, right? It's awesome how Zeta was, you know, disciplined enough to tap the brakes. Let's, you know, take a breather for a second. We might have gotten into sight, but we know they are all around. Let's not overly commit. Let's not make assumptions and just rush in as they've done before in the past year, and actually wait for a second. You know, if someone peeks out, we'll be able to shoot them down. At the same time, we've got this Odin, so let's make some noise, get these T1 players feeling uncomfortable and then come in to destroy.
그치, 타임업 한번 싹 나와야지.
Furia DNA, you know, injected into Zeta here. Again,
내가 출격하면 뭐합니까? 예?
where T1 are not on the full weapons.
저기 가서 5분 단자 할까요?
You've been mentioning it, I've been mentioning it, the thought process is there at least here for Zeta Division.
It's a fusion, Asra. It's a fusion.
Fusion? But yeah, truthfully it is.
Yeah, because you still got Junior there, assistant coach. So now T1 feeling the pressure. They've only got 3 rounds. If they can win the last 2, that
아니
would
다
not be
턱
too
깨고
bad.
있네.
But then
다들
again,
지금
timeouts
현재
being spent.
표정이 매우 안 좋아 보입니다.
And these contact plays that we've seen from T1, right? They've been relying a lot on Saya player, and again, as I mentioned, the kind of bounce back between him and Carpe in creating these openings.
Oh yeah.
That only happened for a couple of rounds now, but in the rounds that Zeta Division have won as of recent, I think 2 to 3 rounds straight.
It's not always just depth.
That's true, and they haven't gotten that initial contact with Saya player. He's always peeked up on short. He's always been smoked off, and he can't get that again initial contact here for T1.
So now back on the operator, he's looking for that contact, but I don't know if it's going to happen that easily. Both of them looking to inch out towards B main, but look at how Zeta is reading this as well. All you got is Laz getting the info, the rest of them, you know, making markers, exploring all throughout the other parts of the map. If we know that Saya is here,
이번에 샷건 들고
we know
B
that the
가는
other
거
half
같은데?
of the map is slightly more open. Let's take down easy.
왜냐면 스파이크가 안 왔거든요. 페이크인데 오, 잘 잡았어.
What a smoke from Rossi here too.
와우.
They're going the opposite
너무 잘
direction,
기다리고
but
있어.
it is
씨발.
falling. As
아니
soon as
뭔가
it gets set
원웨이.
up.
아니 이거
Zeta
원웨이
Division
뭐야?
Is the play to go straight to A because Carpe's already here, but
아니 이거
it seems
케빈
to be like
원웨이
an
아니야.
overpush on T1 side, but I mean it's
What are
great
you
because they
doing,
do have the numbers
Kevin?
advantage. Laz now caught in a 2 versus 1. He's got to have to make something out of nothing. And that's not going to happen. It's not possible. And T1 on all fronts answer back.
Yeah, you can see the timeout's effect now after called by Coach Autumn. First of all, yes, Saya's still, you know, looking for that early contact, but it's not just that anymore. It's a bit more information, trying to inch out a little bit further, get that timing. We understand that, you know, if they're not really pushing out B main, Xcure and Rossi, just stay prepared. Izu, stay prepared. And all the utilities come at the right time. Xcure landing the first shot, they blocked off every single avenue of entry.
어
Clapback is
진짜
just beautiful here from T1. Quick null command pinch coming in from mid.
라인 다
Paranoia
맞았는데
as they
아 이거
detain
마켓에서
or
무조이지?
delay the players on
와우
the
와우 와우 와우
lead.
와우 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 케빈!
He's the one that started it all for the Santos.
아
Hey.
Hiroron
히로로니
able to get
하지만
shut down,
아 근데
but
이거
he's
충분히
alone on
잘했다.
an island 3 versus 1.
Unbelievable. Just the mechanical skill involved to make such plays, but also knowing to position themselves in that spot.
Absolutely.
Zeta tries to go for a different approach, right? You got the mid to B, but then it got blocked off that way.
And Hiroron is just very far from any kind of good information
와
whatsoever.
망상까지 맞았어.
Forced to back
할 수 있는 게 아무것도 없어요 히로로 씨는.
So damn annoying to deal
그렇지
with.
할 수 있는 게
By
없습니다.
pinning him out in the open. That's going to be T1 with the 5-7 half.
It's really just T1, tier 1 mechanics.
귀여운데요?
T1
약간
skill,
그거 같아요.
skill.
페롤드
First of all,
헤로롱.
you got Xcure with the shots,
헤로롱,
then in that
히로롱.
last pinch against Hiroron, you got the paranoia, the snake bite, and then the shot from Saya at the end. 7 to 5.
귀여운데요?
That's a pretty good half for T1. Let's see how they can carry that over onto the next half. Again, this composition, very interesting. On the defense, you've seen how useful it can be with Poison Cloud, a bit of a one-way. Izu still, you know, being such a menace. However, onto the next half, how do you make use of that Viper on the attack? How does this all pan out?
I'm already just imagining there's a bunch of lineup plays.
So we've seen Loud try this before.
Please do refresh my memory with this.
Like the Viper Harbor stuff, and it kind of feels a little bit weird whenever they try to push it to B. You know, it's like smokes and walls, but then other teams are just like, yeah, we can just spray them down, kind of. I mean, I'm not entirely sure, and I can't be entirely correct, but it is this double controller that I'm very curious to see how they're going to apply it, especially now that they've gotten a
근데
little bit of
뭐
experience with this
5대7이면
roster
나쁘지
from
않다.
the
공격 때
ABL.
어떻게 할지가 사실 매우
I'm
궁금하긴
looking at
한데.
that from a perspective where side pushes, right? But I'm also going to say that it allows you for so much segmentation on the map, right? Because you have two of the controllers, you have twice the capability right now to, we want to push deeper onto mid. Sure, Omen smoke enough for us, and then we'll have like a Viper wall outside of market so that no one from the site can actually look onto market and maybe trade up. So those kind of scenarios much more accessible to T1, obviously because of the double controller, compared to Zeta that only has Sugar Zero on that Omen.
Yeah. I'm just like still feeling, you know, you're attacking, the only flash you have is Izu. So it really comes down to how they apply this. It's not that it's not viable, but let us see.
That was Euron also using his drone very early on, only spotting out Excurit. So if T1's plan is to rile up a bit of utility here from Zeta, mission successful already.
그런
You can already
거는
see Zeta
샷이 좋아야
very
한다.
much kind of scratching their
나는
heads
전제
where they
조건이
are. That's why you're seeing
붙어있기
so much
때문에.
rotation coming in from depth, from the players on short, and they're scrambling.
Wow, just feeling that pressure. Still though, Tree, that's gonna be a big stack. Without the flashes, how do you break through it? Saya, he's gonna have to find that contact and he's gonna have to do it safely.
Execute though, he snuck in.
No way.
Euron's not even aware of this. He's just looking towards mid.
와, 못
Execute
봤다.
has found his
못
access
봤다.
all the way
What?
through spawn. Here comes the
timing.
push out on short.
이러면은
Euron's actually looking on
근데
his own side
보고
of
있긴
spawn. He's aware of
하거든요.
this, but the damage is being
마우스
done already by
미드.
T1. Here onto the
오셋,
side, Euron.
오셋,
This is the
오셋.
timing there.
뒤통수 맞고
Execute's
죽나요?
flank
예.
perfect. Sure, it's gonna get
여기까지.
traded out, but the damage be done. The site secured, and T1 has every bit of advantage taken to put themselves in a better spot in post-plant.
That
Yeah.
actually worked. Okay. I can't believe it. Execute looking through
I
all
think
the way like that with the
IGL.
toxic screen
파르페.
that Zeta thought was kind of just left alone. Now with the retakes, how do you fall through?
They're just brute forcing their way. Let's see how well their brute force is
추가제로?
going to work out.
오?
I mean, Sugar Zero and Dem is
Whoa.
dealing some damage.
하지만 원에
Is there
있죠,
any
원에
smokes
있죠
that,
지금.
again, Sugar Zero can put himself on? Half on the
와,
defuse.
오셋, 와,
He's
오셋.
got to have to hold this for his teammate, and he does. What heroics
아깝다.
from
와,
Dem and
아깝다.
Sugar Zero,
까비.
the mainstays of Zeta Division.
와이드 잘 벌렸는데.
It looked
아니 와이드 개 잘
It
벌렸는데.
really did, right?
근데
Numbers
뎁시가
weren't
오늘
quite
진짜
there. They just brute forced
잘하시는데?
and jumped through heaven.
추가제로스랑
They
뎁시랑
got the frag. Sugar Zero started things off, and
야무지신데?
then with the way that they pinched on into hell, movement and working together as a squad like that, it still is, you know, the core members being that familiar, knowing exactly how to play off of each other, so as to
그러니까.
ensure that Izu would not be able to deny any spike defuses.
That was such a big round too. I mean, imagine losing that. T1 has
괜히 한번
all
체크하려다가
the
독이빨에다
right to
맞았거든.
bring back a deficit in that 5-7. Speaking of T1,
이거 지면 진짜 여러분들
side
이거
player
지면
with a big
10대
dash in
5예요,
right on
10대
top
5.
of Generator here, and the damage! Oh boy, the damage very much felt.
Yeah, we don't see this too often. The forced buy, Zeta did not expect it whatsoever. They suddenly blinked and 3 members dropped dead.
It's got
팬텀이기 때문에 아마
This is
대분
gonna have
살릴
to be a
것
call
같고
to a
가디언
save for
한자로도 살릴 것인지.
yeah. I mean, both Euron and Dem
네,
are on
스팅어인
rifles right now, Guardian and a
입장에서는 좀
Phantom.
잡으러 가고 싶거든요.
Do not
스팅어
wanna
이거
give
2명. 바로 뇌절. 바로 뇌절하러 안 가나? 나 스팅어 2명 나였으면은 스팅어 2명 바로
That's the scariest thing so far for me.
고킬 이러면서 가라고
I
했을
mean,
것
yeah,
같아.
Execute, you see this toxic screen, it's always placed up towards B. That's the power of the double controller. Zeta's always going to have to be wondering, is someone going to make use of this? Are they actually gonna push through to B now, or how
이거 봐,
do we
이거 봐.
position
결국에
ourselves?
오잖아요, 여러분들. 그래, 스팅어 들고 있어봤자 의미 없거든.
You know what? I'll double up on that with how you mentioned, Execute always lurking. If you're somebody from Zeta that also wants to peek out through B main, you can't see nothing through that smoke. Sure, you can maybe pop a couple of shots, but visual confirmation is down to a 0 as long as that wall's up. And there's a chance, there's a world where T1 just like 4 stacks it, drops the wall, and gets like a massive contact with, you know, sheer numbers. But again, one of those things, just saying.
That's really cool though, actually, yeah. I mean, that's what this toxic screen does. It actually controls so much. So, I mean, it's a very good composition, and you can see what it's used for. Of course, it takes a team like T1 to actually make it effective.
Fair.
Yeah, we can't do this in our premier games at home.
Are you saying the Banana Boys can't make it happen?
Banana Boys.
Actually, I can't remember the name of our team now. I'm so sorry to every teammate that hears this from our team. Our premier team. Anyways, back into the nitty-gritty. They're really important.
Yeah, we lost the Guardian. Only Depp has the hero Phantom right now.
Yeah. This is not looking too hot here for Zeta Division. T1 taking their sweet time, you know, seeing if there's any nooks and crannies that there's any littered Zeta players. Would be great if they can get that quick 4 to 5. But even if it's not, I mean, just a full force on the B side or on any side, it's going to be much to handle, especially when
이게 그냥 상대 이코여가지고 나오는 거 받아먹으려고 하다가 일단 시간이 별로 안 남아서 결국에 A로 가는데 A에 팬텀이 있다는 사실
It's a one and done.
체크하긴 할 거거든요. 오, 나이스 트레이드.
So got the one. Rossi trades right back.
지켜야죠.
Now A site
이거
is
숏 안
open.
지키면 총 일단 주긴 하는데 저거 총 그냥 주나? 저기 팬텀 부자루인데?
But I don't know how much that is going to
저기
do.
팬텀 부자루 아닌가?
Well, I mean, if they push up on the short, they're going to pick up at least 2. They want to open that door. They want to punish whatever they're trying to break through here. 2 from the flank coming in. So that will be Euron as well as Laz. Now picking it up.
Wow.
Nightfall activated for safety. T1 making things short here, man. And I mean, I don't blame them. They still are at a 2-round deficit, so the more that they can try to secure something in terms of rounds, the better it will be for them. Izu into the corner here. Beautiful stuff coming in from this Omen player of T1, and it's turning into a full-on blast battle. Sugar Zero's just stuck on Generator. That's going to be that. T1, one more round to equalize things in the first map.
예, 5대 8에서 7대 8로 가네.
I mean, of course, Zeta, you know, that was just a pistol.
공격 오퍼 뭐죠? 공격 오퍼?
Kind of interesting with how that fragment was tossed through, but you can always see just the movement from Izu with the way that he plays around some of these corners sometimes, in and out of smokes. Very, very tricky. Meanwhile, on the other half of it, just back into the game, right?
Yeah.
T1 with the approach on the attack. We're talking about that toxic screen, but in this round, they just kind of waltzed into A after taking down Depp. So there are so many things that they can do, again, buying the attention away because of that toxic screen, or just creating presence around other parts of the map. Of course, now that Depp has kind of lost his life around short by himself, maybe Zeta senses to call for further reinforcements. Is it going to be enough, though?
들키나요? 오케이.
Yeah, at least that recon, excuse me, that Sova drone.
한 발 못 썼어요. 와, 나와줬는데.
From Depp to swing out. I mean, sure, he's got some safety with that
이제
tailwind.
벌써 1분 때 들어갔는데 이제 슬슬 어디 갈지 결정해야 되거든요. 근데 제타 보소?
Mid only has a measly
이렇게 가면 질 것 같은데. KO 킬조이 Z거든요. KO
here
킬조이
comes
Z.
the rest of T1 marching in, barging in.
띵 하나 있고.
But wait, hold on. I haven't seen the rotation here from Zeta yet. They've actually brought in Depp at the back of the site. If this is a full commitment here from T1, they might not know what they can uncover at the back at this entire B site. Excuse me, so I'm fumbling because right now this is gonna go for a full blast fight. And Depp hasn't been spotted just yet. Now they know. There's so much to happen here, and Depp is holding on. The call, the rotation, it's perfect. Excurrent now has the hold. Euron spotted through the smoke by Saya players. Late lurk on mid, and T1, they managed to make it happen.
The ideas were good, but that said, T1 with the number, still just able to play off the information from their fallen brethren. You might have lost some earlier on, but then as Excurrent
그러니까 아니 뎁시 진짜 개 잘해. 데뷔 방금도 솔직히 말해서 뎁시가 이거 사이퍼 잡았잖아? 그냥 사고 개 크게 난 거야. 그냥 교통사고 났어. 교통사고.
What? I heard like a black from. Is that like a voice line
What?
from Jet?
제타의
Anyways,
타임아웃.
okay, while we
제타
have
이제
this
타임아웃이
timeout,
없습니다.
I just want to talk about quick cause and effects, right? The standard composition on Ascent for any team here that Zeta's using up against what T1 is employing right now, right? The big factor here is if you can bait out the non-refundable, non-rechargeable utilities of both the Sova and the Killjoy to a certain extent, because if you break her utility, especially that turret, it takes a very long time for it to very long time, right, when you break it. Anyways, if that happens, the more Zeta is forced to use their own players to guard certain locations.
Face checks.
Exactly, and because of that, T1 with the Rossi up and down smokes and segregation of the smokes from both of the double controllers is making it easier for them. Zeta is playing into their hands. The longer they lose their, the more they lose their utility, and the more that they get
아, 근데
pushed
뭔가
into the side.
제타는 막 그렇게
That's a
정보를
great
앞에서
point,
막
that's
따고
right.
약간
T1,
이런
you know,
느낌보다는 하나만 보고
That's the thing
뭔가
about the
이모스를
composition that
보고
Zeta are playing. On the
그런
defense,
느낌인 것 같아가지고 뭔가
it
공포가
gets
쉽게
tricky.
잘
it kind of turns into that
안
battle
먹힐 것
of
같은
resources.
그런 팀이에요.
And well, players are a resource as well. And right now, apart from players, economy is also something that they're kind of running low on. So we're waiting for
맞아.
that reset. And in
그래가지고
the
이게
meantime, maybe
어느
we can get as much
영역을
information
제트 없이
as to how T1
들어가서
approaches as much as
그냥
possible.
뭔가
I think that's
포지션을
why we're
잡게
seeing this,
해주면 거기서
a
이제
bit
킬을
of
낼
that
수 있는
B
건데
presence.
그거 아니면
Top six
솔직히
screen,
팀
you know,
상대로
nobody's really
킬 내기
working their way
좀
around it.
힘들어요.
So maybe Hiroran just kind of goes in and positions himself up there. Meanwhile, the rest of them, they've got some of these sheriffs. Depp on the Blade Storm, just guarding A Heaven.
And this comp from Zeta, you know, that everybody uses on Ascent, is that mainstay for such a long range, for such a
wow.
yeah.
한 번 더 나와? 한 번 더 나와? 이콘데 한 번 더 나가야겠지?
Euron's
나였으면 나가.
left standing
그렇지.
here.
쉣!
His timing, his reads.
30 seconds left.
He is so ratty.
That's years of FPS experience.
아, 이러고
where
A
he's
가나?
just translating into Valorant pretty well.
오!
Sure, he gets shut down by
아니,
Laz,
라지.
but 2 kills already. Loss of
아,
big
벤달 먹은
firepower on
라즈?
that B site.
Time.
이콘 깨지고 사이트 있는 거 알고
An issue.
망상 있는데 오, 와우.
If Laz can
Spike down.
connect,
와,
and
진짜
convert,
씨발
maybe
라즈
that
씨가
was something.
큰
He
사고
needed
한번
that
칠
second kill
뻔했다
on
인정?
Rossi, though.
Yeah.
Even that first one, it's not going to be enough. He needed to really do something massive.
Oh, let's see if Depp can visualize something.
보이거든요.
오.
와, 못 봤어요. 트리플.
God, he's just.
아니
I
러시
mean,
왜
he forgot
러시를 못
Rossi,
봤네?
couldn't get the kill on Izu. So unless he could get the kill on Izu quick enough and then
와
transition
이제
into Rossi,
여러분들
there was no
역전했어요.
world where Depp would have,
역전.
you know, clutched that.
True. I mean, the tagging slows him down as well, makes him an easier target. But apart from it too, again, just keep in mind, it's a round where Zeta Division didn't have all too much, but with the way that they didn't show off any executes, it's just execute it. Sneaks up, maybe drops to last, but those 2 kills were big enough. Now execute is offing too. Oh, that there, he's back.
No, he wants to showcase,
와이퍼 구체
you know,
보고.
why he was the one to be feared before, and the other
찍혔다.
bang bang.
둘
Couple
찍혔다.
tags here right now for T1.
백사이트 셋?
3-man stack on
아
B.
이거는 솔직히
Euron's waiting for any contact as
일단
he's
모르긴
preparing
하는
the
건데
dart
이거
already
조금 힘들어 보이긴 하거든 사이트
for the
들어가는
push,
게
but T1, they're no
사이트
fools,
안에
man.
있는
They
거
will
알고 그래서 천천히 합니다.
let it cook a little bit. They already got control of that B site, and they can
저
back
사이트
away
많은
if
거
they
알면
want to.
그냥
What's
여러분
perfect
일단
about this
천천히
is
해야
if they
돼요.
do, there's like
그렇지,
two
스킬
players that
돌리고
they can
가야지,
match up
스킬
on
돌리고
spawn. Doesn't matter anymore.
그거지.
Sugar Zero's by himself. He really has to just do
오.
godly
아니,
angry
슈가제로?
stuff here, or else.
슈가제로? 제로
Well, he
콜라?
does get
까비?
two, but I mean, Zeta's never in a spot where they can really be confident in retaking things. And on top of that, the Viper Spit, which is spewed right in front of them, and T1 coming back with a strong second half, double digits already.
Ever since that, you know, second round force buy, they haven't dropped a single bit. And Zeta, you're starting to
딴 거는
think
좀
this might be
아깝긴
Another one of those rounds where they have to kind of half buy it up or save it up, and
그냥 안전하게 하려고
pretty soon,
했으니까.
maybe hopefully a timeout being called by Coach Carlisle. Because
아니
again,
근데 제타는 항상 여러분들 히어로 바이를 하네요. 벤달 한 자로 무조건 있는데 얘는 하면?
Sugar Zero, but the response from Depp and the rest of the squad not quite following through.
It seems like they can't.
Yeah, they had no idea.
Yeah. So it's more of them just hoping that this stack that they're doing in the back of the site is gonna be enough.
그니까.
But we've seen it
그냥
from
약간 데뷔 약간
these
소녀사장
multiple rounds already
느낌인데
that
지금?
it really hasn't. So what's the mix-up here for Zeta?
게임이 또
What's the call
이렇게.
of their IGL to alleviate this?
아이고.
Oh, damn.
와
Yikes.
벤달
He's
위치.
down to half.
피 되게 많이 까는 피 39 남았습니다.
Still kicking.
바로 벤달 한 발에 가는 피.
Not quite sure
아주
how to
꼼짝달싹
adjust around
못하고
the defense
꼼짝달싹
of T1 with the way that they're
그가.
playing around this.
근데 이걸 나와?
Depp kind of
이코니까 과감하게?
beckoned over again.
와우 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 와우
He
와우.
addresses, puts himself right at the start, right at
Hip.
the corner here. And that's not the call. That's not the
망상
play that we
좋고요.
were
대시
looking
없거든요.
for. It's the
그렇지.
kill on Saya player, and I mean, simultaneous enough. Excrit hard lurking.
그래 대시 없이 들어가면 이렇게 큰 코 다치는 거야
How
그냥.
safe he can really be at this point.
What?
He does deal some damage right now. Whips out the classic, but even if he can win that fight against Izu, there was 2 more to deal. And this is just T1.
아 난 근데 나는 뭔가 그러니까 뎁씨가 잘하는 건 알겠는데 너무 벤달 한 자로 줘놓고 너 혼자 알아서 만들어 약간 이러는 것 같아서.
That every other team, or at least Zeta Division, still might be a new roster, but the idea is that the game plan centered around
오
this
맞아.
exact
아니
classic
이런데 어떻게
competition
킬을
is
해?
always the same thing. Meanwhile, for T1, when you got players like Saya, you got players like Rossi, you got players like Excurate, they can throw you in for one heck of a loop. And it just keeps happening again. Saya picks up quick op kills on his own, similar to how X would have done so on the B side before. Now, the whole team kind of holding default. Saya looking for an opening pick. The drone ignored.
What a risky position for Zeta to play in.
데뷔
It
하이드
actually still
잘
works
하고
out in
있었죠.
the end. Excurate now should get spotted as well here.
오딘.
As he uses the
아 이거
smokes
솔직히
to
뎁
get him,
입장에서
get
이거
him
오퍼
out of
죽고
harm's
싶다
way.
지금.
We haven't really seen any aggressive push-outs from Zeta at all.
이거 심지어 오퍼도 안 나오는 크레드라 다음 라운드 제가 봤을 때 이번 라 주고 그냥 오퍼 지키는 게 맞는 것 같은데 3대 오면 진짜 개빡세거든요. 뭣도
That's
없고
not gonna be enough.
프라울러 2개
Yeah, I feel like
기체
no
하나.
Reason to, because they're always kind of anticipating
이거
that
지면
T1 is
상대
playing
오퍼
that
바로
default, and that's what they're
굴러가는데.
doing this round. Very, very tricky to work off against. So just kind of hanging back, getting the info, playing off of it. Hero on now.
He's getting chased. Wow, he has to hold this. He's good enough for the one, though. They do know that Rossi as well as Excurate somewhere stuck on spawn. What is that thinking about here?
아 오퍼 먹겠다. 오퍼 먹으러 가나요? 아니 오퍼 안 먹는다. 까먹었나봐. 레전드. 오퍼 안 먹는다. 나이스.
Start this 2024 right.
아니 오퍼 안 먹었어요 여러분들.
I mean, I
Add
gotta
it to the playbook.
think about how that B main was played out. Depp picking up the first kill, maybe around the toxic screen, or maybe not even. They didn't see all too much. So once that owl drone was sent through, he instantly knew, all right, I could do something against the Saya player. And as soon as that pressure is
그러니까 오퍼 까먹었어 지금. 나 여기서 끝나고 바로 뛰어가가지고 솔직히 오퍼 먹을 시간 있었다고 생각하는데
Depp is able,
또 안
or at least
먹었어.
enabled to find the remaining frags. Oh, but as it happens, just one win, just one round win. Autumn is like, nope, that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah, instantaneously uses
불행 중
that
다행입니다.
timeout.
불행 중
But you're absolutely
다행.
right, you know, it was a bait and switch. It was a little bit risky, and it was the first round after so much garnered already here from T1. Oh, every single game this entire day, man, has been so hard fought for both teams.
Welcome to VCT Pacific, Asura.
What a first day. My goodness, I am enjoying every bit of it, but I will not, I will be remiss if I didn't say this has been an intense and very much painstakingly long day. My God, these teams will not let up, and I love it.
We've got a lot of talent here in Pacific. Champions being Korea this year, I am expecting for someone to bring that trophy home. But apart from that too, exactly right. Still, this round, Saya still on that off, very scary. Euron back on the Odin. Just kind of posted up.
What a risky spot for Depp too.
Excure's still lurking.
I mean, this time though, they put a lot more bodies into trying to
포로
deal with
뭔가 잘라내기가
Excure. Now that they
힘들다니까는.
don't see anybody on B main, you can see the rotation from Blaz right now. If he can maybe stop Execute from breaking this alarm bot and shutting him down, that could be something if he pushes on A main here. Sugar Zero, ooh boy. But again,
get out.
Depp's still on the corner.
It's very important that Zeta does not move too much right now. Because if they get punished by Execure, or if Execure goes in deep enough, then some rotations might come through. We got 45 seconds left.
Oh, this is the worst case scenario right now for Zeta. This push out on short, if Huron can't hold this,
뭔가 게임이
hold
답답하냐.
on this boost spot for the past minute or so is going to be nasty.
Poison Cloud.
He does get a one, he dashes over, but gets immediately traded. Activates the Hunter's Fury, and Huron holding on. And he does blast Execure away. That's a spike drop down on short too. 12
아니
seconds.
히로론치도
So the side
잘하는데?
player can take down 4 players in 2-second intervals each with 8 seconds left. Quick maths for you. This should be another round for Zeta Division.
I was not able to calculate or catch any of that, but yeah.
I mean, 8 seconds, 4 players, 2 seconds each.
Too many. But yeah, I mean, it really is those 4 players. I think that's the main thing, because they were able to stay alive. Depp having the skill to react to players who are trying to approach from tree.
궁 쓸 거 같은데.
Pump the brakes for T1.
근데 무슨 전략 있나봐요. A쇼 푸시 같은데.
Autumn to maybe attempt at
A 메인이랑 A쇼 푸시 가는 거 같은데. A 메인 나가는 척하면서 A쇼 푸시. 카메라 달아서 좋거든요 지금. A 메인 나간 척하면서 바로 A 푸시 나가죠. 좋습니다.
Now here's a different aggressive play from Zeta. Depp. Battle in the air, and that's gonna be Depp winning it out against Saya player. Still though, quick little.
Oh my god. 아니 미쳤는데 그냥?
It's Zeta
아니
wanting to get the one up onto
아니
T1
미쳤는데?
here. It is trade for trade. There is that quick TP at the back of the site. Is it going to be full committance? Depp.
No.
World have activated as well. Izu did commit his use from the shadows to the back of sight, but the spike did not come with him on B.
바로 구민 김에 전략 한번 싹 쓰려고 A 메인인 척, A 메인 푸시 당하는 척하는 A쇼 푸시였습니다.
glimpse of something towards top mid, so he has an idea. Rest of the team to split up, trying to get the information around the sites. Izu though could still be a very deadly force. If he even gets 1 frag, that is quite a bit of damage.
Absolutely, especially with 2 players already committed to hold this B position, but they're calling them back.
Oh.
They have 30 seconds. They can do this, but
gonna have to be a really slow creep.
30 seconds.
They have to run for it though. Again, it'll take like 10, 15 seconds, but they're coming back to B once again.
Laz has lockdown. Laz's turret. Back towards A.
They're just about to touch Tips.
Wow.
There you go. Tips got the first one. Nightfall activated. They'll trace everyone.
Wow.
And the
Wow.
The Odin reigns supreme.
That's right, Zeta Division.
아니 어디
See
실화임?
your samurai sword. First of all, we had Depp in the anime duel up in the air. But then after
아니
that,
어디 3킬
getting
뭐야?
for things, being stationed
어떻게 잡았지?
and staying
아니 이게
front.
지렸어요 여러분들.
Like
이거
this kill was so much.
그러니까 저렇게 이제 떠 있는 거 Z 궁으로 헤드.
games.
와 뭐야?
But Zeta just
따라라긴
stays
따라라.
calm and collected. You know, feeling the pressure that they had from last year, maybe this would have been different, but this year, this brand new Atarashi Zeta Division, they are so much more rejuvenated and ready.
Depp's got his operator out.
오, 포한발 잘 뺐는데요. 이대로 템포 올려서
Side
가나요?
player, though, chasing him to the ends
포한발
of the
뺑기면
earth.
바로 템포
He wants
올리는데
that contact point motion,
와우.
but off-cap kills, Euron
와
attack.
근데 이러면 모르는데
Zaya
사이트
answers back.
혼자 남아있는
Last back
라즈.
to site, gets some coverage on the smoke by his teammate. Has to hold. If he makes any big noise, that could give Rossi an opportunity here, as you do see Izu slowly creeping his way onto fast lane. The fragment's perfect. That does force back Rossi for the moment here. Rossi's just trapped. He bumped himself into the corner, and it's all down to Izu.
코너를 돌려다가 에임
50 seconds,
돌려가지고
spike in hand.
못 잡았고 집중
He's pushing
못했거든요
himself
지금.
forward. He knows he can't plant the spike without them punishing him, so he might as well just be proactive with this one. And Laz finds him with the beautiful 3K. And all turned up over its head. T1, they had a string of rounds, but Zeta also got their own.
Yeah, T1 just really trying to throw out, all the remaining cards left in their deck, trying out this different execute. But
와 리콘
the
뭐냐?
recon, the traps,
와우.
the cyber cage.
아 리콘 그냥
It just
또라이네
wasn't quite
또라이.
enough. The Zeta had enough of a read to deal with that. And not to mention the last 3 kills. Laz was that controlled that he didn't push past the dark cover, even getting information on towards lane and then peeking out for the final 2. Oh, what is this now?
They're making a lot of moves here.
바로
What is happening
전략.
to Oscar? He's already
실
been spotted.
오디.
All the way from downtown onto short. Snake Bite activated here on A main. Maybe to stop any pushers out from Zeta Division, but ultimately also stops T1 from pushing up into A main right now.
Yeah, man, mega impact kill. Xcurrent has been such an annoying lurk for the past several rounds. Now they're just like, if he's gonna be alone this round, previous round they tried the B push, they're not gonna try it again. Let's punish him.
That was also the first time we've seen that pitch play come out from Zeta, so
Yeah,
that's the reason why I kind of freaked out a little bit.
I'm freaking out right there with you, dude.
그래도
Now
아직
it's gonna be a
그렇게
4
안
on 5
할만하진
without
않은
Xcurrent. That's
게
a lot of pressure off
끝엔
Zeta's
살아
shoulders.
있고.
True, but all
킬조이 세다.
things can always be turned up.
근데
This is for
오퍼여가지고
overtime
무섭긴
or
하지만
bust, man.
그래도 진행시켜.
Yes.
진행시켜 빨리.
Not to mention, Zeta can still play it safe.
어
Laz still has
킬조이
the
A네?
lockdown for the
나였으면 바로
retake.
A감.
They do have
그치.
this smoke
일단 리테이크인데?
with the Prowler combination. It
리테이크면
pushes
어쩔
back
거야?
so much. You can't see Laz has to hold on for his teammate, but it's the beautiful bait and switch. Now, there's going to be the plant on the spike.
해보고?
Locked down. Locked down.
They do have it. Rossi's gonna hold the angle here. No, 2 of them will actually do
와
so.
속공이다.
Crossfire's bound.
나이스.
Euron's finally shut down. here,
와
but this
로시.
so deadly, which it does. Izu gets spotted out. Rossi's already done his damage. Carbe's gonna have to come big with
아
the
로시
Guardian. Not
잘했는데
gonna happen
이거
for now.
힘들죠?
And now Rossi. Ay, ay, ay. 50 HP.
What are you
아
gonna do?
진짜 아무것도 할 수가 없어
Or
로시.
even get a kill. If he does, maybe a
그냥 죽어야 되는데?
I don't know. He's there. He's there. They're
Wow,
with him, but
GG.
again, the detain is looming over his head, and Zeta Division almost looking to get tripped up on map 1.
Ah,
Come
no,
back
no,
with a
no, no,
13-11
guys.
swift retribution.
Just the first
BO3
round.
BO3
But
가이스.
my oh my. First of all, that forced buy from T1 in the second half gave them such a streak. 6 rounds in a row. But then Zeta, off of the, just one adjustment, Depp coming in, being alive once more. Somehow, even with T1's timeout, they weren't quite able to answer back.
Carlos is giving everybody from Zeta right now two-handed
아니 근데 뎁씨가 진짜 잘한다.
High tens.
high tens.
And if you look at the stats too, I mean,
FC
Zeta
피지컬이
Depp has so
좋으신데?
much.
All right, and we're just gonna pass it on to our panel to discuss that first game.
And every single map, every single game that we've had today has been so close. There's no exception.
So close, but this was also
아
just
배고파. 아, 여러분 저 배고파서 시리얼 좀 가져올게요. 잠시만요. 근데 지금 말을 너무 많이 해가지고 배가 고파. 케빈 화났어? 칠 가이스, 칠 가이스. 야, 릴렉스. 아직 안 끝났습니다, 여러분들. BO3라고요, BO3. 이거를 먹을게요. 시리얼. No. 시리얼 오랜만에 먹는데 맛있는데? 밀크. 네, 저 T1 경기 보고 있습니다. 근데 잠깐 배가 고파서 간식을 먹고 있습니다. 이거를 무슨 시리얼이라고 해야 되죠? 이게 무슨 시리얼일까? No meat. 그래놀라? 그래놀라? 아니 이게 숟가락으로 뜨면은 떨어질 아니 풀릴 것 같으니까 약간 개밥 같은데 그냥 안 해야겠다. 이거 요아소비 시작한다.
So we're just keeping our fingers and toes crossed that he's going to do it again.
아니 라즈 씨는 근데 진짜 잘생겼다.
Anime battle. I want the chamber anime battle.
Oh yeah.
약간
I think we all want that. All
배우처럼
these fans
생겼어요,
out there in the
인정님들?
audience want that as well. But now going into Lotus, as you mentioned, Will, it is C1's map pick. It's also a map that they're very, very comfortable on, and it's a map that Zeta isn't exactly 100% comfortable on.
Yeah, and this is also a map that Carpe's had several opportunities to now call on, and no, Les, you have robbed us.
My
No!
disappointment as I mentioned all night day is absolutely ruined.
Listen, I don't blame the comp, obviously. There's a reason it's one of the more picked comps, but man, it would have been so good to see.
Do you know that meme where somebody like forms half a heart and somebody has a thumbs up? That's
Yep,
what this feels
there
like.
you go. Yeah. It's
No, this
just that
feels like a
mismatch.
middle finger directly in front of my
Aw.
face. I was
그래놀라.
promised glory, and
Laz
this is...
Laz is thinking like I'm gonna pick Killjoy because Achilles wants me to pick Chamber.
It could be.
That's the reasoning behind it. But we are gonna step into this match regardless. We are heading into Lotus right now, so let's pass it on over to our casters, Quack and Asarai.
It was about to come full circle, man. It was about to be the battle of the snipers.
It's like you draw the circle, but then your hand's not like really steady, so it's all squiggly lines.
Yes, I have experienced
Speaking of squiggly lines, some squiggly lines in form of wires maybe not really working. We got a tech pause!
that. Yay! Hooray! But anyways,
I can hear and feel your excitement, Asarai.
no, of course I'm not excited for any tech pause, but I am excited to see what impact we'll be seeing right now when everybody was expecting T1 to really run away with, again, the performance that they've shown when they faced up against Bleed. Such a commanding lead, everything and all of that. But again, Zeta Division, they got their own things working out for them. They're not the same team before that was very hesitant, very timid. They are now pretty aggressive. They're working with that aggression, making it their advantage with the help of their coach, and it does goes to show. It is a very close game that we saw from map 1, but I mean, again, everyone's upgraded. You're supposed to think that it's always going to be that very close. My man is yoked as he flexes right in front of us. And
We got
yes,
a lot of fans all throughout the stadium too. I mean, like, you've got these T1 fans, you got Zeta fans. It's a good day for Valorant.
it's a good mix.
Good mix.
Yeah.
Not too biased. Except for maybe Asarai, who's biased towards Zeta. Anyway,
Hey!
not really, not really.
Wow, shade thrown just because I'm the only one that picked Zeta Division, you know?
Nah, I mean, it's just great Valorant. But apart from it,
Yeah.
I think it's also like just micro adjustments from